It's a beautiful February day here in Missouri, mid-20s today, and we're out here doing some frost seeding. And if you guys, unless you've been living under a rock, you guys have heard us talk about clover food plots and the benefits of clover. Obviously, we plant a ton of different grains and greens food plots, but I can say by far and away, clover is one of our favorite plots. And there's several reasons, the reasons that we do love clover so much. And one of them is because you can establish a plot so easily like we're doing here today. So frost seeding obviously is a technique that you utilize this time of year when the ground is expanding and contracting. And so we're going to spread this seed out on top of this snow that we have from yesterday, and it's going to be 60 degrees in the next couple of days. And so this snow is going to melt, and it's going to suck that seed right into the ground. And regardless of if there's snow or not, the ground is constantly expanding and contracting. We're going to have multiple more frosts coming up here, and it just sucks that little tiny seed down into the ground. It's tiny seed, so it doesn't require a lot to get seed to soil contact. So today I have two different plots that I'm doing, and they're two completely different situations. One of them is about a 2-acre food plot that is an existing clover plot. It's coming into its third year, really well established, and did really well last year until the drought. And then the second plot I have was a R&R blend from Eagle Seeds last fall, which is radishes and rye. And it's a smaller plot. It's more of a kill plot. But obviously the deer have come along and eaten all the radishes, but there's a great ryegrass cover crop right now. So it's kind of, subduing some of the weed competition. And I'm going to frost seed on top of that, and it'll germinate and blow up this spring. So between the two different plots, I'm doing two different blends because of the different scenarios. With this bigger 2-acre plot that's been the established clover plot, I'm going to go with a Clover Keeper blend, which is a blend of perennial and biennial clovers that will, come back every single year. And so since it's existing, it's already going to have great cover and tonnage. I'm just kind of adding to that and keeping that fresh. And then in the new plot that I'm establishing, I'm doing the Buffalo Blend Clover, which is actually a mixture of perennials and annual clovers. And those annual clovers, while they're only going to grow for this first year, are going to take off, and produce tonnage right away. And then the perennials will come in and keep that plot established. So then I can, use it for years to come. So with the two different plots, I'm actually using two different techniques as well. That's the beauty of frost seeding and clover seed, is you don't need anything fancy, like I was saying. So I do have the ATV spreader, but I have the chest spreader as well that I'm going to use for the smaller plot. And I like using the smaller spreaders for those smaller plots because you can just manage your coverage a little bit better. So what I like to do initially is, do a perimeter around the food plot with the spreader, and then I will go laterally back and forth across the plot, and you can see the seed hitting the snow, which is really nice. You can see your coverage and make sure you're good on your coverage. But I will horizontally, go across the plot, and then I'll laterally go across back and basically do like a crosshatch pattern to ensure that you're not having any bare spots and getting plenty of coverage. So you want to start out with a very, the seed gate, you want it opened very minimally so you don't run through your seed too fast. So obviously with the bigger plot being 2 acres, it would take a lot of walking and a lot of time, and it's definitely a little chilly out here. So using the ATV spreader is nice. And even if you want to go over it 3 or 4 times, you can kind of manage your seed level. Both seeders have awesome view windows, so you can kind of see the level of seed and kind of monitor as that goes on. So frost seeding, one of our favorite techniques, clover, one of our favorite food plots, and there's several reasons. Obviously the ease of establishing the plot like I talked about, but also a lot of our properties seem to be really high deer densities. Clover produces a ton of food per acre, so it's able to withstand that heavy browse pressure, and it's pretty drought tolerant. Obviously these past few years have been brutal for our fall planted food plots, and they haven't done really well. And the clover has sustained through those droughts, and anytime we've got any moisture has just rebounded and blown up. And it is extremely attractive during the early season. That's one of our favorite things about it. But what's really interesting is, a lot of people say once that clover frosts and kind of shrivels up that it loses some of the attraction. But obviously still to this day, they're digging through this clover as it's already started to green back up a little bit, and they're eating up the roots and fighting through there. So it seems to be a very attractive food plot all throughout the season. And anytime you have, other plots fail or don't do well, it's just established in there and comes back every year. So it's one of our favorite things, and it's a lot of reasons that it's our favorite across the board. But My favorite thing is to recommend to people getting started is it's just so easy to get started, and you can get out there and frost seed them. So we're gonna hit the second plot and knock out this 2 acres, and hopefully we'll get some warm weather coming and this clover will pop. One thing I forgot to mention was seed rate, and on this 2-acre existing food plot, I'm just using 2 acres of seed, so it's already established, it's good to go. But on the new plots, I always like to overseed a little bit, especially when you're frost seeding, because you're going to lose some to birds, and then some might not germinate or whatever. So on the other plot was about 3/4 of an acre, and I used about 1 acre of seed. So always err on the side of overseeding when you're frost seeding, especially when you're establishing a new plot. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let us know in the comments, and if you have other ideas or other stuff you guys want us to cover, let us know. In the meantime, you can kind of check out this video that Sean just did recapping his food plots, so how they performed throughout the season and what times of year deer prefer different food plots. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned to the next one.